on the corner of 25 West Main Street in downtown Vermilion. The spot, Winnie Mae's, is proud to support programming on Coyote News. The spot, Winnie Mae's, providing salon and spa services for men, women, and children.
Coming up on Coyote News, pre-law students find out how tough it is to prepare for trial.
Plus, dancers filled the arena Saturday. We'll tell you what brought hundreds of people to town. Coyote News starts right now.
Live from the Al Newharth Media Center, this is Coyote News.
Hello, thanks for joining us. I'm Lauren Solik.
And I'm Nick Nelson. We'll get to those stories and more, but first, Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg told senators it was a mistake to believe that Cambridge Analytica had discarded data it received from social media users in an attempt to sway the 2016 elections.
Zuckerberg told members of the Senate Judiciary and Commerce Committees yesterday that Facebook considered the data collection a closed case because it thought the information had been deleted. Zuckerberg says Facebook didn't alert the Federal Trade Commission and that the company would handle the situation differently. An Algerian military plane crashed in a field, killing 247 passengers and 10 crew members. The plane was carrying soldiers and their families right after takeoff. Today's crash is being called North Africa's worst plane crash. Algerian authorities haven't said if there were any survivors. One witness saying they saw people jumping out of the aircraft. The cause of the crash is unclear and an investigation is underway. The main Atlantic Ocean circulation has plunged to its weakest level on record, and global warming may be to blame. That's according to a new study constructed by a physicist at the Potsdam Institute. The slowdown in the circulation, which plays a crucial part of Earth's climate, had been predicted by computer models, but researchers say they can now also observe it. It might make for more extreme weather across the northern hemisphere and could increase sea levels along the U.S. East Coast. So Carter, it's basically the middle of April. Where's the spring weather?
I'm not really sure, but I don't think it's coming anytime soon. It looks like snow this weekend. Currently, it's 65 degrees outside. We'll be seeing these warm temperatures continue up to Friday night. Tonight will drop down to 37, with tomorrow being partly sunny with a high of 62 and a low of 45, with a chance of thunderstorms. Friday, we're looking at partly sunny skies with a high around 62, and there's a 30% chance of rain in the afternoon. Friday night will drop down to 32 with a 60% chance of rain and snow. As for your weekend forecast, there's some more snow coming our way. Saturday, you can expect a 60% chance of rain and blowing snow. As for Sunday, we're looking at partly cloudy skies with a high of 37 and a low around 23. And that's your Coyote weather.
Thanks, Carter. Learning to play roles of attorneys, witnesses, forensic investigators, and other criminal justice officials is what mock trial is all about. USD's mock trial team presented a small portion of their usual competition routine. The team hopes the mock audience observing their demonstration might also become new members. Gabby Metzger says the team is looking to fill spots since a majority of the current members are seniors.
A competitive activity where people can work on attorney skills and
on July 16, 2017,
witness acting skills.
The mock trial team competed with this same trial in Memphis, Tennessee in March.
So we're doing a shortened presentation. A normal mock trial round can last up to 3 hours. So this is a very condensed version of what we would typically do when we're competing.
Students who wish to join the mock trial team can contact Gabby Metzger through her Coyote email.
This museum has historic guns, taxidermy, and even a mummy. The W.H. Over Museum was founded in 1883 and continues to keep students and the community informed about local history. Coyote News' Emily Schrod explores the exhibits at the museum.
History comes alive at the W.H. Over Museum. Located across from the Dakota Dome, the museum is free to attend, and its mission is to help the community learn about the past.
And we want people to get a grasp of what their ancestors' lives were like. So this whole thing is we try to embody this whole idea that history is important, that history is knowing a bit about the history tells us something about where we're headed.
The W.H. Over Museum has exhibits from throughout history, including mummies and buffalo.
This was, there was a carnival in Kearney, Nebraska, sometime in the 1950s. And carnivals used to display a lot of weird stuff. And there are an awful lot of Egyptian mummies around throughout the country.
Many different animals can be found around the museum, including lions, leopards, and even some coyotes.
Some of the taxidermy goes back to the late 1800s. The museum's been around since 1883. So as a consequence, having animal mounts has been a part of the museum for years. And everything from the bison we have to some more recent mounts of some African animals and so on.
For Coyote News, I'm Emily Sherrod.
The W.H. Over Museum is open Monday through Saturday from 10 to 4. Coming up, a local business finally cut its ribbon 1 year after opening.
This is Coyote News.
The owners of Brew 2 hosted an open house with a ribbon cutting a year after first opening their doors to the community. Jim Waters and Monica Iverson opened Brew 2 last year. The business partners also own Cafe Brûlée and Dakota Brick House. To celebrate a year of business and membership in the Vermilion Chamber of Commerce, the two invited the community to enjoy food and drink samples at their open house and ribbon cutting. Vermilion Chamber and Development Company President Nate Welch says the chamber averages 8 to 12 ribbon cuttings a year, and it's not uncommon for businesses to wait a while before hosting their grand openings. When Brew 2 opened their doors last year, they became the 5th coffee shop in Vermilion. With the addition of Starbucks just a few months ago, the city now has 6 places to enjoy coffee. The annual USD Wachipi event is a celebration of Native American culture. I spoke to one of the dancers about the physical and mental preparation that goes into dancing at Wachipi. Dancing, singing, and drumming were all part of the 46th annual Wachipi event sponsored by the Tiohtià:ke Council last weekend in the Sanford Coyote Sports Center. The former Miss Tiohtià:ke USD and dancer Anika Whiting says that this has been with her all her life.
I guess it's just who I am and who my people are. This is something how we bring ourselves together, like no matter what's going on in our lives, and it just brings us together to be happy and do something that we love.
Whiting says a lot of preparation goes into every performance. Eating right and exercising, she says, are essential, but also emotional readiness is necessary for a good performance.
Like, there's people who like go and say things about you or your family, and like about the winners who go and like, oh, they just won because so-and-so knows this person. And like, it can take a lot from people, because like, just that people bring you down because they think you know someone. But yeah, you actually put the hard work into it, to dance, and to, you know, like, just to win.
Whiting says she hopes to pass the tradition of dancing onto the next generation of her family. For the Yote Report, I'm Nick Nelson. Tiohtià:ke Student Council President Jesse Bean says the event also acknowledges those who came before them and the connection they have with all our relations. After the break, find out how to get involved with intramurals without actually playing.
This is Coyote News.
Playing on an intramural team isn't the only way to be involved. Every intramural sport needs at least one set of eyes to ensure players are following the rules. Referee Seth Kavanaugh says he enjoys being a part of intramurals from a different perspective.
My favorite thing is just interacting with the rest of campus. You get all kinds of people in here. You got former college athletes. You got kids that just want to play. So just being around people and working at the Wellness Center is awesome.
If you're interested in becoming an intramural referee, visit usd.edu under the employment section.
A group in Vermilion is continuing to be active in the community despite being founded over 4 decades ago.
The Vermilion Area Arts Council has plenty of history behind it. What's even more notable is that it's still active in the community after being formed 44 years ago. Phyllis Packard, who was a member of the original board when the council was created, remains active today as the treasurer.
The Arts Council has actually been a part of Vermilion since about 1974, so we have a very long life. We bought this building, which is the Washington Street Art Center, in the mid-'80s, and have been operating it as an art center ever since.
On Saturday, the council hosted South Dakota Rock and Roll Hall of Fame singer Hank Harris. Their events often include concerts, crafts, and culture classes.
Currently, we're actually running Lakota language and culture classes. One of our directions this year is actually multicultural programming and trying to get a broader audience working with the Arts Council.
The next event is a Lakota culture class taking place this coming Saturday. For Coyote News, I'm Dustin Van Honig.
The council also has ongoing registration for their summer arts camp through Sunday.
Now, Coyote News' Allie Boyson is joining us live from the Muck with the Vice President of the USD High Howlers, Savannah Kirsch. Allie?
Thanks, Lauren. Savannah's here to tell me about the USD High Howlers and their successful season, plus the event that they have coming up. Savannah, what was it like qualifying for the International Championship of Collegiate Acapella?
It was a great honor to get accepted. You know, it's only our second year competing at that level, and so getting to go and compete with some of the best a cappella groups around the nation is pretty amazing.
So can you tell me about your performance in Utah and how that was different from your usual performances?
Yeah, so we ended up going to Utah because of scheduling, which was actually a lot of fun. And so when we go, it's just different. The atmosphere is so energetic, and there are lots of different groups from all over that are also competing. And you would think that it being that way, that the competition would kind of almost intimidate you, but everybody's there supporting one another, and so it's just a really fun, upbeat atmosphere that we get to perform in.
So a cappella singing pretty much means without background music or anything like that. So what are the difficulties singing a cappella?
Something that's pretty difficult is making sure that, you know, we blend as a group and that we're hitting the right notes, because if you miss a note, then, you know, you don't get that chord or you don't get that sound that you would typically get if you had an instrument with you.
Mm-hmm. So what will make your final performance tomorrow special or unique from your others?
Tomorrow will be special because it's our home concert, and we have a bunch of different specials, different groups. We are performing our ICCA set, but we also have different songs that we've put together for this. We have some a guy song, a girl song, so just a lot of different variety.
All right, thank you. The USD High Howlers performance will be their final tomorrow night in Alf's Auditorium at 7:30, so if you want to go, make sure you get there on time to get a seat. Reporting live from the Muck for Coyote News, I'm Allie Boyson.
Thanks, Allie. So, Lexi, what are your thoughts on the new basketball coach?
Well, he's a USD grad and a South Dakota native, so he's a Yote at heart. We'll have more about Coach Lee and the results from this afternoon's home track meet. Next in sports.
This is Coyote News.
Hello, I'm Carter Hofer. Tonight on Coyote Sports, the football team is in their final preparations for the spring game next week.
And I'm Lexi Peterson. The track and field team pulls together a last-minute home meet. But first,
a Calgary-based trucking company has been suspended pending an investigation into the bus crash that killed 15 members of the Humboldt Broncos junior hockey team. 14 people were also injured in Friday's crash. Among those killed includes the team's head coach Darcy Haugen, Jason Joseph, son of former NHL player Chris Joseph, and the team's captain, Logan Schatz. The men's basketball team announced on Tuesday the Coyotes will play the Kansas Jayhawks in Lawrence, Kansas on December 18th. Kansas is coming off of a Final Four appearance in the NCAA tournament after a 31-8 season and a Big 12 championship title. Meanwhile, in women's basketball, head coach Dawn Plitzweit announced the addition of 4 players for their 2018 recruiting class. Walk-on Courtney Schoenbeck from Walworth, Wisconsin, and Taylor Tarones from Watertown, South Dakota highlight the class as they averaged 16.6 and 8 points per game, respectively. Also joining the two is Allison Peplowski and Reagan Sankey. The Coyote softball team is currently hosting Creighton and are down 6-2.
overcoming an injury isn't easy for most college athletes. Coyote News' Caitlin Ryan tells us one senior is exceeding at a new sport.
When an athlete comes to college, they are usually committed to one specific sport. But this is different from junior athlete Laura Bowman. She spent her first few years as a soccer player until she got injured. So, instead of ending her athletic career, she decided to give something else a shot.
I played soccer for 16 years. Recruitment, I think I committed my junior year of high school to come to USD, very excited. I really enjoyed the experience I had. I mean, I learned a ton. I grew a ton as a person. And I actually got hurt. It was really difficult being out, just not really being part of the season, and it was definitely a hard mental spot. So I go in the weight room a lot. And one of the old throwers, Megan Dennis, she was the GA in there at the time. And one day she kind of came up and she was like, "Have you ever thought about being a thrower?" And I was like, "Well, no, but why not?"
Taking a chance proved to be a good idea. Bowman recently beat the school record in hammer throw at one of their last meets.
I was kind of nervous, so we went out, and the way it works is you have 3 throws, and then the best 9 competitors get 3 more throws. And I threw, in my first 2 I fouled, and I think I caged one and fell out of the ring. So my 3rd throw, to get a mark, AG took me down a turn in my technique, so instead of doing 3 turns through the ring, I did 2, and I threw 54 meters. I ended up making finals by not a lot, centimeters. So I was like, whoa, I have another chance. So that really helped me calm down and relax a lot more, and was able to get a good throw out of that, so it was exciting.
Bowman is hoping to finish the season out strong. For the Sports Report, I'm Caitlin Ryan.
Bowman is currently competing at the South Dakota Invitational.
2 Coyotes earned Summit League awards this week in their respective sports. In track and field, Chris Nielsen adds another award to his resume as he earned Summit League Athlete of the Month for March. Nielsen now extends his league record of monthly awards to 7, which is 3 more awards than any other men's athlete in league history. In golf, Tommy Vining was named Golfer of the Week for the Summit League after his performance at the Missouri Tiger Invitational. Vining placed 7th at the event and played all 3 rounds of the tournament under par, totaling just 211 strokes throughout the weekend. A new era of Coyote men's basketball is now underway behind the direction of their new head coach. USD President James Abbott and Athletic Director David Herbster introduced new men's head basketball coach Todd Lee on Friday. Lee, a USD grad from Huron, says he's taking over the team in a great position.
This is a great honor to be named coach at my alma mater. And there's such a great tradition of winning. The program is in great shape.
In his first year with the program, Lee has his sights set high, with the team coming off of a 26-win season.
Every year, we're going to have a goal of winning the regular season championship. We're going to have a goal of winning the tournament championship. And we're going to have a goal of getting to the NCAA tournament and winning games in the NCAA tournament. I'm not going to shy away from that. That's going to be our goal.
Lee is beginning to work with the team immediately to prepare for next season. The Coyote golf teams both traveled to Missouri this week as the regular season nears its end. The men's team traveled to Columbia, Missouri for the Tiger Invitational, as Tommy Vining led the Coyotes to a 4th-place finish. Vining was 5 under par on the weekend with 211 strokes and placed 7th overall. Matt Tolan and Scott Futenberg also followed up with 218 strokes each to tie at 21st place. The men will travel to Nashville on Friday for their final tournament before the Summit League Championships April 29th. While the men found success in Columbia, the women's team also found a top 10 place finish at the Kansas City Intercollegiate. Abby Dufresne led the Coyotes to a 7th place overall finish behind a 14th place finish of her own with 155 strokes. Julia Hall finished tied for 22nd place, while Lexi Peterson followed close behind, tied for 29th. The tournament was the women's final regular season action as they now head to the Summit League Championships next Sunday.
The track and field team is hosting 8 schools in their first home meet of the season today. The meet replaces the Dakota Duels home meet that was canceled last week due to weather. The meet is currently running behind schedule, but we do have a few results from the meet. Tashik Gordon and Shamara Spencer are headed into the finals of the 100-meter dash, seeded 1st and 2nd. Teammate Shanice Canigan is seeded 1st, headed into the 100-meter hurdles. Brittany Kerr took home 1st in the women's high jump. Ben Hammer finished in 2nd place in discus with a throw of 56.37 meters. Check out tomorrow's daily updates for more results. As the semester winds down, the USD football team continues their spring practice. The Coyotes football team left in their spring practice schedule before the Big Red game versus White.
Main focus of spring ball is always to help bring guys along developmentally that have, that are young, that haven't had as many repetitions in the past, and then continue to build your identity and figure out what you're going to be really good at offensively and defensively.
Shaflake says that the spring practices are focusing on individual goals.
You help accelerate the players' learning and really what they've shown to be their strengths while really diving into their weaknesses and trying to build those up, develop them, and create a situation where those things that were weaknesses early on are now becoming more serviceable.
The spring game is set for next Friday in the Dakota Dome.
The USD dance team is coming off of a 9th place finish at Nationals. Coyote News' Whitney Fowkes is live from the muck with a member of the dance team, Juliana Lehman. Whitney?
Thanks, Carter. The dance team just ended their season on a successful note. I'm here with Juliana and Peyton to talk about how they prepared. Thanks for being here, guys. So you recently just placed in 9th in Nationals in Daytona. How was that experience?
It was really exciting because in the past, we've gone through the preliminary round and had to do Challenge Cup, which is like a second chance to get into finals. But this time we got into finals after our first round, so we were really happy about that.
This past year, your team didn't have a coach. What responsibilities fell on the team due to that?
Basically everything. We self-choreographed, we pushed each other to the point that we all just ended up doing a good job and great teamwork to lead us to this, which was really good.
And you said that you had to self-choreograph your routine for Nationals. How was that process?
It added a lot of stress. We had to redo it a lot of times due to people quitting and things like that. And it's just like really time consuming and it takes a lot more effort when usually we just have to be there and learn a dance and then do it.
Thanks, guys. The USD dance team has tryouts this Sunday at 8 a.m. in the Sanford Coyote Sports Center. Live from the muck for Coyote News, I'm Whitney Fowkes.
Thanks, Whitney. Tax day is just around the corner. We asked students if they do their own taxes. Their answers next.
This is Coyote News.
Taxes are due next Tuesday.
We asked students if they know how to file their own taxes.
Here's what they had to say.
No. I actually do. I own my own tax firm.
Nah,
my taxes. My mom does them for me. And I file all my taxes by myself.
I do not know how to do my taxes yet because my dad says that's what an accountant is for.
A little bit. I work with my dad every year on figuring them out.
No, because I got H&R Block.
No, I've never done them in my life before.
I never thought I'd just pay for it. I'd rather somebody else do it.
I actually don't know how to do my taxes.
I do not know how to do my taxes right about now.
And I wish it was maybe a required thing for you to learn in either high school or in college.
I do not. My parents do my taxes.
No, because my dad has TurboTax and does them for me.
No, because my dad does them for me.
No, I don't know how to do them. I was never taught them in school or by parents yet.
No, I do not know how to do my taxes.
I mean, I just use an online text service to do my taxes.
Yeah, I honestly have no clue.
I'm not doing taxes quite yet. I'm almost there.
Be sure to pick up the new issue of The Vlot out today, featuring a story on a USD Earth Science professor.
That's all for Coyote News. Don't forget to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and Instagram.
And be sure to watch and listen for Coyote News daily updates throughout the week on KAOR and the Coyote News social media pages.
Thank you and have a great night.